What up, Cowboys Nation and YouTubers? It's the VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Today's video, we're going to talk about, of course, the Dallas Cowboys, but Andy Dalton, Garrett Gilbert, who could be the starter? Cheeto is coming off the COVID list, and more injury news, and a little tidbit about the Pittsburgh Steelers that might have made a difference during the game. It'll be coming up to you next. What up, Cowboys Nation and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Whew, boy. I had to turn off the radio here because Max Kellerman, as usual, has gotten on his high horse and he wants to trash the Dallas Cowboys. He wants to talk about Dak. I don't know why. The man hasn't played. I don't know why you keep rehashing how much he should be paid or if they should move on. It's not your team. You supposedly like the Giants, but you never badmouth Daniel Jones, how horrible he is, but you want to worry about paying my quarterback. And you're trying to Bible thump your way into saying, oh, well, if you just go ahead and draft a quarterback who's probably going to be better than Dak in the next 5 years, why don't you do that? That's the smart way to go. Really? Really? Because as I see it, I don't know. I'm not the draft guru, draft wizard, but quarterbacks aren't exactly lighting up the world on their teams. There's a reason that they're drafted so high in a draft, because the teams are bad and the talent around them is bad. So the records are bad. It doesn't matter if you claim these quarterbacks are so much greater, but if you use your adage that they're supposed to make the team better, they haven't done that. Y'all put everything on Andrew Luck, and this man couldn't get to the AFC championships and the Super Bowls all the time like y'all wanted him to. RG3 never made it out of his second season before he was gone. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, who else? Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, who's finally showing up, Josh Rosen, who's on his third team in 3 years. So I don't want to hear this bull that guaranteeing a first-round quarterback is going to automatically make your team so much clearly better when there's a reason these teams were bad enough to draft them in the first place. So, Max Kellerman, stop. Stop trying to push the needle on your hot takes that Dak is so far behind everybody else when you just got done criticizing Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. Are you serious? Anyway, everybody wants to do their hot takes and always want to bash on Dak just because it's a clear, easy win when there's obviously worse quarterbacks out there to go after. But no. You always want to talk about Dak. That's fine. Whatever. Anyway, this video, as if you didn't already know, usually I make my videos about starting the breakdown of the games and start talking about the offense. Well, today there's so much going on that I can't get to the offense, so I'm going to start with the news of the day. Of course, you've already heard, now Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy are rubber stamping the Andy Dalton thing, but they're leaving a little out that if he's not healthy, Garrett Gilbert will probably get the start against Minnesota in 2 weeks. Because Dalton has not passed the concussion protocol yet or the COVID-19 protocols. So they're hoping that in the next week that he should be healthy and ready to go. But an article I just read on CBS Sports has pretty much highlighted the very reason I thought, the only reason that Andy Dalton would be put back as starter instead of riding the bench like he should be, is because of the money. They already cut the check to this man to pay him $3 million to try and come in and correct this ship if something happened to Dak. Now, that's great. Too bad, just like before, Jerry Jones went on record saying he thought that he had the best backup situation in all of the NFL. Heck, a lot of us thought that was true. But then we really saw what we have. It's the same old Andy Dalton that couldn't win squat in Cincinnati. Sorry, but that's the truth. That's the Andy Dalton we got. He didn't improve. He didn't get any better. And with our injuries and bad offensive line and everything, he's actually gotten worse since Cincinnati. But because the Cowboys owe him money, they feel that they are forced to have to start him just because they don't want their money sitting on the bench. That's called a bad business decision. You don't trot out a bad investment just because you made money in that investment. You get out of it. You don't care. You sell. You get out of the bad situation. You don't keep putting money into the bad investment just because you already got money in the investment. That's bad business, and the Joneses know better. But this is the same Joneses who said Brandon Weeden had the best arm he'd seen in a long time, and all that hoopla about Matt Castle and how they can come in and win, and Kellen Moore, he can come in and he can play this game, and with his mind he can right the ship in case those guys don't work out. And what happened? Nobody worked out. So take the Cowboys speeches about Andy Dalton being the best bet for anything with a grain of salt. They're not tanking, but they're not tanking. Basically, they know what they got in Andy Dalton, which is a bad investment, and they're stuck trying to trot him out here, trying to tell the fan base that that's a wise decision because they've already screwed up. Just because he plays quarterback, that's the only reason he's on this team. You saw what they did with Everson Griffin, Darryl Worley, and Dontari Poe. They didn't pull their weight. Zoop, they were out of here. Andy Dalton, if he played any other position right now, he'd probably be gone too. And speaking of which, leads me into our next thing, the injuries. The only reason Savion Smith has saved himself a job right now is because the news came out today that Trayvon Diggs is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a broken bone in his foot, which might land him on season-ending IR and just shut him down for the season, get him ready for 2021. That's a shame to hear. He was our top corner. Regardless of what people say about the rest, he played better than any of those other guys. He got it. He's got something. We unfortunately don't know what Reggie Robinson got, because as soon as he got on the team, they shifted him to safety, and now he can't even crack the starting lineup or get snaps. So, who knows what's going on there. But, like I said, Savion Smith is going to stay on the field, probably be mixing in and out just in case, because Cheeto Awuzie has been activated off the injury reserve, so he'll be back hopefully to man his spot and doesn't have any setbacks or anything, so he'll be back. Savion will probably go on Anthony Brown's side, or he'll back up both of them more than likely, and Jordan Lewis will be back there as well. Those are our 4 corners now. So you pile that news on top of Tyler Biotish being out 3 weeks or so with his hamstring. Whew, man. It just it rains and pours for the Cowboys this season. 2020 is just a lost season for these Cowboys. No matter how many times they try to twist the facts and try to put a smile on people's faces, we know we suck. And without all that top-end talent that we're paying, what, half our salary cap to, we don't have a team. We don't really have depth for this team to make any kind of sensible run. Our defense tried, but our offense can never click enough and get out of their own way to help us win games. So we got that on the injury fronts. Like I said, Cheeto has been activated, so he'll be back playing against Minnesota. Trayvon has now been out, is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, along with Tyler Biadasz, which sucks. But yeah, the fact that these Cowboys are making things competitive looks great on paper, but you know, right now having moral victories is cute, but it's not winning you games, unfortunately. So it's nice you can look great, but we're also not really evaluating talent because these coaches and the ownership don't want to feel like they're losing. So they keep trotting out the same old guys, knowing nothing changes. Nothing changes. We're still going to go out here, and we're never going to get a look at our future if we keep trotting out the past, you know? Another note before I get off of here is, again, coming into the Max Kellerman thing and talking about how bad the Cowboys are. He's still trying to have the nerve to say we gave up our best corner. Granted, Byron Jones shut down his half of the field, but like Troy Aikman has said and others, he doesn't scare anybody. He's not picking off your passes. He's just batting them down. He's guarding against the player. That's great. But I'm not afraid of you taking it back the other way for a pick six or anything, so they should just throw at him. This season in Miami, he's been hurt, so he's just now getting his legs back. But you want to tout him as the best corner we had on the team, correct? Correct. But here's the thing that they don't want to tell you. Byron Jones, for the best corner on our team, where we're talking turnovers and preaching turnovers in all of these games to help our offense, the man has, what, 2 interceptions in his 6 years of being in the NFL? 2 interceptions. Trayvon Diggs got 2 interceptions in 1 game. 1 game. So that was what, last week against the Eagles? So you think with Trayvon Diggs, 2 interceptions in 1 game, in what, 7 weeks? That puts you on pace to completely eclipse what Byron Jones can do in his whole career. So that's pretty sad when you look at that statistics. And people don't want to bring that up, that he's basically already beaten Byron Jones in half a season than he's done in his whole career. So imagine if you get that same attitude of Trayvon Diggs being our best shutdown corner on the side, but he can also take the ball away. Imagine that. When you can truly shut down one side of the field because that man is a threat to take it back to the house. That's some scary stuff. But yeah, the Cowboys just look to be trotting out themselves onto the radio and saying what they want to say, hoping the fan base believe them or not. Who knows what their thinking is. But my whole thing is the Joneses are not the coaches. If the coaches feel that Andy Dalton gives them the best chance to win, that should be a coach's decision. That's not a Jerry Jones decision. That's not a Stephen Jones decision. When you guys said that Mike McCarthy was coaching this team and you would not get in his way, you lied to us. Because you're now getting in his way and assessing quarterbacks due to money, not performance, and not giving the coach a choice on who's his quarterback. if I'm a coach, I'm not going to the Dallas Cowboys because I know Jerry. I know Jerry can't help but meddle in everything. And I can't run a team if this guy is going to keep going out here every week on a radio station and telling me what I'm going to do as a coach instead of letting me do my job. You want to do it, coach then. Fire the rest of them and you go out there and coach these guys week in and week out. Since you guys seem to do everything else, your GMs, your ticket takers, your refreshment vendors, your owners, your coaches, your players, who are you not in this freaking organization, you know? But that's all I got to say about that. You guys, thank you all for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I love doing these videos. They're therapeutic to me because it lets me get things off my chest. And I hope you guys find these things refreshing as well, therapeutic, or maybe even just something to think about and ponder. But don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for whenever videos come up. Hopefully I'll start my breakdowns of the offense and defense tomorrow, unless again something happens in Cowboys world. Oh yes, that last little snippet about Pittsburgh. Vance McDonald, their tight end, did not practice Friday because he was sick. Now, most times when people are not allowed to practice because they are sick, they test them for COVID-19. I don't think they did, or they did and didn't give him the results in time because he played Sunday. And then we find out Monday that he did, in fact, yes, test positive for COVID-19. Now, due to contact tracing, they named 4 other players, which included Ben Roethlisberger. Now, imagine if they knew he was sick on Friday, did their actual precautions and told him that he can't play unless he tests negative going into the game, which I don't know, maybe he did. But then, or if it came back positive, him and Ben couldn't play. Now imagine going into that game with Mason Rudolph as the starting quarterback and not Big Ben. Could you imagine the vitriol that would have happened if Ben did not play and we beat them, and the excuses that Pittsburgh would have came up with? But it was not to be. And now we had to shut down our own facilities for Wednesday practice because of what Pittsburgh did. I just don't want to hear any positive or contact traces for the Cowboys because of the Steelers, or I'm going to be upset. But that's all I got for y'all today. Hope y'all take care. Stay safe out there. It's a Tuesday. It's still surprisingly warm for this time of year. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy your family. Enjoy yourself. And I'll get back to you if anything else happens. Till then, the Dallas Cowboy fan, out.